Well, some good news for once. We have a facility to work on the bigums on the weekend. Giving light to our recent header leak problem, ordered some copper header gaskets from Jegs. But, you know, it's kind of a huge pain in the buttocks on this particular unit. And I don't want to be limited to having to get it done in a night. So we're gonna start tentatively Friday night after work. But in order to do that, I need to get my tools to said facility. We're gonna go ahead. I actually bought this back when we were on the fence about whether or not we were going to do a trailer or the luggage rack for the Dragon Drive, and never got around to putting it on. So I'm gonna put it on now. Because the homie's got a trailer he's going to let me use, so I can just roll my whole box onto the trailer, do what I got to do over the weekend, roll the whole box back to work on Monday. So it's just easier than trying to load everything out of my... I ain't doing all that, so this is the way. Said it won't go past 50 down the line. It's just a move like it used to be. Ta-da! Now, tapped in right there. I'm just going to coil it up and stuff it up somewhere and then drop it out the bottom when I need to tow something. Ta-da! Instead of laying it like that, because I don't like crushing the wires with the trunk. Anyway, it's freaking raining again, so I'm going to get this all put away, and I'll see you guys Friday after work.
Later.
Well, this is a sight. Yep. Alright, so back to work, finish the day at work, load the tools, start working on the car. Alright, now she's all loaded. Let's just pray drawers don't open and nothing falls off on the way to Tony's. Oh wow! Oh wow! Oh wow! Look who it is, everybody! It is Master Tony. Hey, check it out! This is Tony's new digs, and he is kind enough to let my clumsy ass come up in here. We got this is not this weekend's project. This is next weekend's project, hopefully.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
This weekend's project is installing these.
Oh my god, stop fucking lying.
Because, look in there, and you can see that header gasket is pretty well blowed out. Tomorrow morning, we're gonna make coffee, we're gonna fire over here, rip the turbo kit off and get the headers off and see if we gotta weld that. I don't know. We're for sure changing the gaskets though.
Always lying to me.
Alright, look. I know I said I was going to start with the exhaust. We're going to... Oh my god, that hair. Don't look at me. We're going to start with the radiator and stuff, because I know what it's going to take to do the exhaust. We really need to get this radiator changed out, because as you can see, it's leaking a little bit more than it was before. So we're gonna get after it. actually starting to get somewhere. So, did some more clearancing and got rid of more things that weren't needed to be there. I initially was going to try to make this a removable core support, but with how easy it's going to be to get the radiator in and out, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to weld it from frame rail to frame rail, and then we're also, once that's done, I'm going to tie it in to what's left of the factory upper core support, so it's not, you know, paper mache anymore. Now we're going to fire up the Vulcan and get this burnt in here and then move on. There's nothing. You bought a good piece, sir.
Excellent.
You bought a real good fucking piece. I'm about to do something I haven't been able to do since I put a turbo on this.
Look at how strong it is. It's folded all over the fucking
Neat. I like it.
2 hours later.
We're getting places. By we I mean me.
I want to thank me for doing all this hard work.
Ran and got some more flat stock. Got this one welded in already. About to put the bottom one in. New radiator. Got the upper 2 riv nuts already installed. Once I get that bottom piece welded on, we'll drill holes and make that a thing. And then we can move on to trimming the intercooler mount up and then mounting that to the new radiator support. We had to make a parts run. Went and got another section of radiator hose to extend both of them. Got another thing of water wetter, the Rislone brand. We also managed to score a new 2.5 to 3 inch coupler because this one has seen better days. And that's the one that keeps blowing off. Yeah, plucking away. We're about halfway through the day already, so I'm just gonna keep on keeping on and try to get this wrapped up to the point where maybe tomorrow we can come in and also get the exhaust dealt with. Hammer out 2 things in one weekend would be next to unheard of for me, especially when, I mean, that core support's looking pretty good. I'm just saying, it's a whole lot better than, yeah. Wow, would you look at that?
I'm a classic man. You can be me.
Got her all in there, temporarily, obviously. Our new radiator hoses are gonna work mighty fine. And we got rubber in between this time. But, as you can see, it's still just got a little bit of movement to it still, but we still need to put the intercooler here too. And I was, for a hot second, gonna try to repurpose this garbage that's been on the car for the past 3 years. Not gonna do that, because, you know, putting crappy stuff on nice stuff just makes the nice stuff look like crap. Gonna have to make another parts run, go pick up some more flat stock and round stock, and then hopefully we can get this project wrapped up today. All right. More material, more work. Bam! Yeah, I know it doesn't look that great, but now the intercooler is one with the core support. Ain't going nowhere. Now it's time to blow this apart so we can shoot everything with some paint. I thought I had a boost leak. Turns out I do. Right there. Not ideal. It was used to rub. Obviously now it don't because I cleared it, but the hole's already there. I don't think I have any more 3-inch intercooler piping. Shit.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Yep. Spectra for the win. There's still a hole, but yeah. That'll have to do for now. Fellow racer reached out, said he could help me aluminum weld this later this week, so this will do for now. All right, well, minus the cooling fan, there it is. All the dots are connected. Everybody is hooked back up. I don't have any coolant in it yet, or water, whatever. I'm gonna call it coolant even though it's just water and that green stuff in that bottle right there. At least until fall, then it will be coolant. But yeah, everything is in, so now I need to mock that up and make marks and then take the radiator back out so I can get the fan mount. Yeah. It's almost 8 o'clock. I'm starting to think that the header gasket might have to be a next weekend gig, because it's 8 o'clock almost on a Saturday and I still have to have this out of here before Monday morning, on top of my toolbox needs to be back at my place of employment. So yeah, probably just gonna do my best to get this completely situated and sorted, and then, bless his heart, as long as the hoist is open, Tony said that he'd most likely have a spot for me to work on it next weekend too. So just got to be done before August, and that's when Sick Michigan Miles is. That first. All right, Sunday morning. Time to get this thing hammered out. So on the to-do list still, I have to make a tab to mount the power steering cooler. We also need to make proper tabs to mount the catch can, so we're not just running self-tappers into the headlight bucket. I also need to rewire the fans. So this whole time I've been running it on low speed, because at one point I had a fan 1 and fan 2 output command coming from the Holly. We scavenged the fan 2.1 to use as a fuel pump trigger last year, and I never rewired it back. So this whole time the fan's been running on low when it comes on. So we're gonna wire it so it runs on high when it comes on. Once I get that dealt with, we can actually put water and water in and make sure we got no leaks. I need to deal with this fender mount slash exhaust mount that has broken multiple times, and I guess what I'm saying is we're for sure gonna have to wait till next weekend to do the header gaskets, because this is gonna take me a hot minute. Then we gotta load the trailer up. I gotta load my tools up. We're just not gonna have time today. So with that being said, I'm gonna shut up and get after it.
Leather seats, wood grain, tinted glass, and Turbo Town conquer hauling ass in class. Turbo Town car rolling down the strip tonight. 4.6 V8 screaming like it's ready to fight. 10-second runs, they said it couldn't be done. 1092 looks like that argument won. Turbo occasion put us on the scene. Leather seats, wood grain, tinted glass, and Turbo Town car, you're hauling ass in class. Drag and drive all across the state lines. They laughed at first, now Biggie's blowing their minds. Polished metal dreams set to raise the bar. One thing.
Alright, well, she's all but put back together. We got bumper back on, spare bolt, catch cans relocated and mounted. Just got done filling up the coolant, and the air filter is currently drying. That thing needed a deep clean in a bad way. So now I think it's time to fire it up and make sure that the cooling fans do a cooling fan thing. What I did is I had a relay for high and low speed on the fan. I just took the trigger wire from the Holly to trigger both relays at the same time. It's just a ground trigger, which should in turn kick that baby on to high speed mode, which is definitely needed. Significantly lower than it used to be, but hopefully that core support could take a hit, I guess, if need be. I'm gonna go ahead and let her run all the way up to temperature. That way we can check for leaks and hopefully we don't find any. And verify that our fan is doing a fan thing. Oh. Fan is doing a fan thing. And we're moving some air. Now we need to do a test drive. What better way to test drive than to haul our used riding lawnmower to the house. Let's do it. Package is secure. Now we just got to get it to my house. It was acting like it had an air pocket, and I think it might, because this line dips low, and then I forgot I zip tied it up so it was out of my way. It should be laying down over the radiator. So yeah, we're going to get the lawnmower over to my house and then get back to the shop, reroute that line, make sure we don't have any other air pockets, and then go for another test drive. lawnmower works mint. Now we're back at the shop. Got the hurricane fan blowing. Hi, wife. Got the fan blowing to cool this thing off. We definitely still have an air pocket. I watched the temp go from 140 to 175 within like 2 seconds. Just and yeah. While I wait for it to cool down, I'm gonna reroute this line so it doesn't have a huge freaking loop for it to trap air. And hopefully by the time I'm done doing that, we can cool, it'll be cool enough to crack that and hopefully finish burping the system. If you were wondering how low my radiator support hangs, it's approximately that low. I couldn't clear a small Red Bull can if I tried.
20 minutes later.
Alright, I cheated the system. I jacked up the side of the car, and then I just loosened this clamp and slid my straight pick in there to relieve the pressure. And I got it to take quite a bit now. Huh? Yeah, I believe we are full now. So we're gonna start it and see. Alright, well, pretty sure we did it. It took quite a bit of work to get the cooling system to bleed out. But I do believe it is in fact now bled out. Still gets warm at idle, unless you pull the RPMs up off of an idle. But, again, I think that might be the fact that I'm running an oversized restrictor plate and not a thermostat. I really probably should have tried that thermostat today, but I didn't. Well, that wraps up our extracurriculars from the weekend. Wow. You can tell that the front end is higher now. That needs to be addressed. At least it opens up away from it, I guess. That's because I brought the front of the car back up to factory height. That's why, you know, it doesn't have a huge gap anymore. But yeah, that's still gonna be a problem. I ordered another backup camera monitor because I have another backup camera. Man, you guys are always smudged. Anyway, yeah, backup camera monitor. Gonna put it on the front. That way, if I do run into a speed bump, I can see how bad it's gonna run aground before I run aground. If you know what I mean. Well, the coolant level definitely went down more. I wonder if that's just a burp or if we are leaking somewhere. See how much it comes back up. It in fact did not. So yeah, I'm gonna put some more in and monitor it. But yeah, that's, again, probably just an air pocket. But yeah, back to the grind tomorrow morning. So hoping maybe next weekend we can get after the exhaust leak on this, and then once that's dealt with, we need to get a set of drag radials for this, which means I gotta pull some side work or something, because the slicks I have ain't gonna make it through 6 Michigan miles. It's just not, it ain't gonna work. So yeah, we'll be back after it again soon. It's just a low lick and you shouldn't even waste your time. But I got grease on my hands and fire in my veins. If I bet the 2-hour run